Good, happy Sunday afternoon, February 10, 2019. I'm Riley King, and welcome to Politics with Riley King. Let's begin this Sunday's edition of Politics with Riley King. First up, Senator Sherrod Brown, rumpled, wrinkled, happy warrior. Is he ready to run? Ohio Senator says he can beat Trump without comparison. Progressive Bon fights. If Senator Sherrod Brown of Ohio gets into the 2020 presidential race, he won't be the flashiest or smoothest candidate. That's just fine with him. Last year, a lifelong progressive Democrat aired a television ad for his success re-election bid that featured local media descriptions of him as rumpled, disheveled, and wrinkled. My wife is short of benumbed by it, Brown said in an interview Saturday evening. She says when he leaves the house, he looks okay. Brown, 66, has shown up at political events in his home state in Cleveland Indians hoodie or a denim shirt. Despite the everyman look, he's an experienced politician. He's not a household name in New Hampshire, but he's a familiar figure on Capitol Hill, where he's been working for more than a quarter of a century. Elected to the Ohio House of Representatives in 1974 at the age of 22, Brown is also a former Secretary of State of his home state, winning the post at age 30. He was elected to the U.S. House in 1992 and served 7 terms before being elected to the U.S. Senate in 2006. He won a 3rd term last year. Now, although he gives every indication that he's close to becoming a presidential candidate, he said he is truly undecided and will not decide or announce his plans until March. Brown was in New Hampshire on Friday night and Saturday on what he's calling a dignity work listening tour, taking notes at roundtable discussions with local advocates and activists as they did most of the talking. He was in Iowa, the state with the first caucus, last weekend, and will soon head to the 2 other early voting states, South Carolina and Nevada. His stop in New Hampshire included discussion about paid family leave and other issues important to working people in Hampton, Berlin, Laconia, and Concord. On Saturday night, Brown keynoted the New Hampshire Young Democrats' annual Granite Slate Awards event in Manchester. As he prepared to wrap up his visit, Brown sat with WMUR. He said Granite Staters told him of their concerns about health care, particularly the cost of prescription drugs, the fairness of the tax system, and what he described as the added pressure on daycare facilities to take care of small kids who have seen their parents overdose, die, or be addicted. Did the visit nudge him closer to candidacy? I'm not being coy. I just don't know yet, he said. This is not something that I ever thought I'd do. This is still new enough to me. But don't make mistakes deliberativeness for a lack of interest or anything short of me being all in if I run. What are the odds he'll run? It's really a pretty much 50-50, he said. Brown has been a consistently successful Democrat in a state which, according to the Ohio Voter Project, has 1.9 million Republicans, 1.3 million Democrats, and 4.5 million unaffiliated voters. Last year, he was the only Democrat to win a statewide election in Ohio, a state President Donald Trump won 2 years early by 8 percentage points. If I run, I'm the nominee. I'd be a good position to beat Trump because no Republicans has ever been elected without carrying Ohio, and only twice has the winner in Ohio not won the presidency, Brown said. Medicare at 50 to 55. Take a look. Tax plans. Brown versus greedy leaders. Calls Trump racist. Progressive bond fields. And we'll have to see once we get into the month of March if he will announce presidency. We'll have to keep our eyes on Sherrod Brown. Warren makes stop in Dover after announcing candidacy for president. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Siobhan Lopez.
Ready, because change is coming faster than you think.
That's the message to her critics as U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren announces her bid for president in Lawrence, Massachusetts, at the site of an historic labor strike led by women over 100 years ago.
This is the fight of our lives. The fight to build an America where dreams are possible, an America that works for everyone.
Supporters stood in the cold to hear the Democrat speak and catch a picture with her.
Oh, it was amazing. I didn't think I'd get a picture. She came right over, smiled.
Warren vows to make structural change to benefit working families.
It would take a lot for someone to talk about this issue the way that she talks about it and change my mind that she's the person that I want running the country.
This is why I'm in it. I'm in it for my family, and I'm in it for your families.
And in Dover, Warren brought the same message and took questions from the audience. New Hampshire voters we spoke to want to meet more candidates before deciding who they'll vote for.
I thought it was very positive, and it made me even more interested in voting for her.
Well, I thought they were excellent, but I wanted her to speak more about health care because I want to hear somebody really speak up for universal health care.
We dream big. We fight hard, and we make the change America needs. That's how we're going to win.
Now, Warren made no mention to the controversy this week when she apologized for writing American Indian as her race on that application for the Texas State Bar back in the 80s. The media had no opportunity to ask Warren any questions. That's the latest live in Dover tonight. Siobhan Lopez, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Early primary season kicks into high gear with wave of candidates visits to New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Adam Sexton.
This is still the early primary. Candidates and those testing the waters are just beginning to ramp up their activity, and we're about to see an increase in the number of visits. Right now, Andrew Yang, the entrepreneur who supports a universal basic income, is wrapping up a multi-day campaign swing. As he leaves, Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown will move in. Brown is a long-tenured and well-liked progressive. He'll be in Hampton tonight and then campaigning around the state over the weekend. Of course, tomorrow, Senator Elizabeth Warren is expected to officially launch her presidential campaign just across the state line in Lawrence. Right after that, she'll head north to hold an event in Dover. On Monday, candidate John Delaney, the former congressman who was the first Democrat into this race, will be opening his first campaign office in Manchester. He follows that up with a packed schedule of events around the state on Tuesday and Wednesday. Also midweek, John Hickenlooper, the former governor of Colorado, will be making a two-day swing through the state. While he's not yet an official candidate, his schedule here includes a house party and a town hall meeting. Then, next Friday, former Massachusetts Governor Bill Weld could really shake things up, as some expect him to announce a Republican challenge to President Donald Trump when he speaks at a Politics and Eggs event at the New Hampshire Institute of Politics. So if you want a break after that busy week, you're not going to get it. Declared candidate Pete Buttigieg arrives on Saturday the 16th for his first campaign visit to New Hampshire. He'll be speaking to the Raymond Town Democratic Committee. And as we head into that President's Day weekend, Senators Cory Booker and Kamala Harris will also be here. So buckle up. That is just a fraction of the potential field, and it's looking like this level of activity might end up being the new normal. Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. So be prepared for busy New Hampshire with potential presidential candidates. Bill to toughen child sex trafficking penalties put on hold. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
Bill up at the State House that would toughen punishments for child sex trafficking is on hold until next year. The bill would have made it a Class A felony to pay, agree to pay, or offer to pay for sex with a minor. That would have had potential penalties of up to 15 years. Advocates for legalized prostitution asked the House Criminal Justice Committee to put the bill on hold so the issue could be studied more.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Sanders close to decision on second presidential run. Bernie Sanders is still considering whether to make a second run for president, but there have been signals received locally during the past several weeks that he'll likely to get into the race. Trump Jr. calls father's tweet about Warren Native American heritage savage. Donald Trump Jr. called a tweet by his father, Democrat, about Democrat Elizabeth Warren's Native American heritage savage in a social media post on Saturday. Warren officially marked and announced her run for president on Saturday, which drew a tweet from President Donald Trump that referred to the Massachusetts senator as a Pocahontas. He also added, "See you on the campaign trail, Liz." It's unclear why he capitalized trail, though some speculated online afterward that it could have referred to the Trail of Tears. The Trail of Tears was focused relocation of the Chickasaw, Choctaw, and Seminole tribes in wake of the Indian Removal Act of 1830. Tens of thousands of Native Americans were removed from their lands and forced to march to Oklahoma, with thousands denying as a result. ABC News reached out for comment from the White House on the parents' reference, but did not receive any response. And that does it for this Sunday edition of Politics with Riley King. I hope you all enjoyed this Sunday edition of Politics with Riley King. And before we sign off, we would like to say happy birthday to Chief Political Correspondent from at ABC News, and this week host on ABC News and Good Morning America host George Stephanopoulos a happy birthday. Today is his birthday. We hope he has a wonderful birthday. And that did it for this edition of Politics with Riley King. I'll see you back here next Sunday for another edition of Politics with Riley King. Goodbye, everyone.